Hello guys, welcome back. And today I'm going to be talking about Nazem Kadri and him getting suspended for the rest of the first round versus the Boston Bruins. Now Kadri has been suspended for the rest of the first round, so was his suspension too little, too much, and should he gotten suspended in the first place? Watch till the end to find out. Now, during Game 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Boston Bruins, things started to get really heated, which a lot of people, including me, did expect. But the hatred between Nazem Kadri and Jake DeBrusk was on a whole nother level. Now, the play that really broke the can of worms between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Boston Bruins when it comes to the hatred level was the Kadri and DeBrusk collision. I'm pretty sure in like the first or second period, it was in, I think, Boston's own zone, and Kadri and DeBrusk were coming at each other. Kadri was kind of going up a little bit, trying to avoid DeBrusk. DeBrusk was staying put, and Kadri just got flipped over on his side and basically landed funny on the ice. He was injured for, I think, a few minutes there, did end up returning, but that was the scary hit and the scary play that really started it all. Now, that play would have been fine if the refs actually did their job. Now, here's the thing. On that play, Jake DeBrusk did not go into the penalty box, which was the most egregious thing out of that whole thing. Yes, Jake DeBrusk, that was a little bit dirty, but if he actually was put in the box for that play, I think things could have been a lot better. When it came to that whole game, yes, there were some penalties on both sides, but it was heavily lenient on the side of the Boston Bruins in favor of them. There was a lot of plays that definitely should have been called in that game that were put back, and the whistles at some point were just completely non-existent. And for the refs, if they called that DeBrusk play in the first place, I don't think we would even be having this conversation. I don't think I'd be even making this video right now. Now, towards the end of the game, this is where all chaos breaks loose. Now, right now, at this point, the Boston Bruins had the 3-1 lead in the game. The Maple Leafs got one to take it back a little bit, make it a little bit closer, but at this point, there was minutes remaining. There was still time to be left to play in this game. Toronto was basically fighting for their lives, and this is where really everything starts. Now, first thing first, there was this huge shift where DeBrusk was with Marleau on the side of the benches. I think it was in Boston's own zone or something like that. It was in their side of the benches, and when it came to the glass that's right there on, of course, every single NHL ice, there's this corner in the ice that basically is a non-zone for hitting. I mean, that's pretty much an unwritten rule right there. But when it came to Jake DeBrusk and Marleau, Jake DeBrusk went up with his shoulder and basically lifted Marleau into the corner of the glass. Pretty much injured. I don't think he was injured on that play. I don't think Marleau was really injured. I think he was fine, but it was certainly a dangerous hit, and I think for that hit alone, he definitely should have get suspended because it was a dangerous hit. It was one where the head of Marleau made a lot of contact with the glass, and you just do not want to see that in today's game. And as you might tell, Nazem Kadri was on the ice of this hit happening. He was looking directly at this play happening, and you might know what happens next. A few seconds later, Nazem Kadri went with DeBrusk. He was basically almost still there. Then he went up to Jake DeBrusk. This was Nazem Kadri. He was kind of behind his back there, kind of a little bit non-existent. Then comes up and cross-checks his neck directly, and of course leaves Jake DeBrusk on the ice, unfortunately. Now, Zdeno Chara was right there to basically manhandle Kadri after. Kadri basically turtling at that point, but at that point the damage was done and Jake DeBrusk was on the ground. For a solid few seconds, it looked like he was very badly injured, but of course, thankfully, he did get up. And these plays were just happening in a matter of seconds. It was boom, boom, boom. Everything was happening in a matter of seconds. And that is something kind of a reason why I think the refs maybe held the whistle a little bit back, was because everything happened almost instantly. But Jake DeBrusk came from a almost suspension-worthy hit and a suspension-worthy hit without even serving penalty time whatsoever. And of course, with Nazem Kadri serving the suspension for the rest of the first round, there is a little bit of imbalance here with the refs, and that is my main problem with this entire thing. And with Nazem Kadri, yes, he should have gotten suspended. Yes, he should not have gone after payback with Jake DeBrusk. I personally agree with the suspension on Nazem Kadri's part. I agree that he should be suspended for the rest of the first round because him versus Boston is just not a good idea whatsoever. But on Jake DeBrusk's side, that is what personally frustrates me the most. Now, some of you guys might know this already, but Jake DeBrusk is personally one of my favorite players on the Boston Bruins. But his play in that game was totally, absolutely unacceptable. That play and those plays that he made in that game should have been suspension worthy, at least penalty worthy. He wasn't even put in the box one entire time in that entire game. For the plays that he made, he definitely should have been in the box at least once. I don't care if he gets suspended, at least penalize him some sort of way. But the refs just kept the whistle in the pocket in the exact wrong times, and Jake DeBrusk, if I think, got a penalty for that first play on Kadri, got a penalty for that play on Marleau. Again, I don't think we would be having this discussion. I think Jake DeBrusk would have been handled with. I think Nazem Kadri wouldn't have to vent his frustrations like like he did. And again, just the violence that we saw could have been handled by the refs, but of course, we didn't end up seeing that. And this is my whole thing. This shouldn't have happened. This whole incident with Jake DeBrusk getting cross-checked in the neck, you don't want to see that. And everything should be happening to make stuff like that not happen. But if the refs actually did their job, called some penalties when it should have been called, we wouldn't be having this discussion. We wouldn't have Nazem Kadri out for this long. We wouldn't have Jake DeBrusk in this whole crazy situation where his Instagram is getting raided and he's getting harassed all the time. We wouldn't be seeing this if he was actually given the punishment that he definitely deserved. And he definitely did deserve it. I don't care if he got suspended or anything. I just want to see him punished in some sort of way. But he gets off scot-free while Nazem Kadri gets suspension, and a suspension that he rightfully does deserve. Now, my main problem isn't with Nazem Kadri and his suspension. I think the suspension is fair and good and well. Definitely do deserved. But when it comes to Jake DeBrusk getting nothing, getting no penalty whatsoever, no suspension, no punishment at all, that is where my frustrations are. When it comes to this whole situation, I just feel like it could have been avoided if the refs, actually did their job. Now, when it comes to the Toronto Maple Leafs, this suspension is a big blow, with guys like DeBrusk not even getting suspended, with guys like Torrey Krug coming back as well. The Boston Bruins are in their prime right now. They've got a lot of guys that are healthy as well. So right now, the Boston Bruins are ready to pounce and give some payback for Nazem Kadri. And for the Toronto Maple Leafs, they're going to be without their number 3 center for the rest of the series. And we saw how big of a blow that was last time around when Nazem Kadri was his second-line center, and how much that affected the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I don't really see it being too much different this time around. I see the Toronto Maple Leafs likely being weakened quite a lot because of the suspension and because of the dirty plays that Nazem Kadri made. But of course, with this video, I want to hear your guys' thoughts down in the comments down below. So let me know, what do you think about this Nazem Kadri and Jake DeBrusk situation? Do you think Nazem Kadri was in the right? Do you think Jake DeBrusk was in the right? What do you think about Nazem Kadri's suspension? Was it too high? Was it too low? Or was it just perfect? But if you guys want some more Grav videos just like this one, you can click on this card right here to watch my video with Nikita Kucherov and him getting suspended 1 game, and my thoughts to the hit and how it should have been handled. But that'll be it for today, guys. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Again, comment down below your thoughts on this suspension with Nazem Kadri and your thoughts on it. And I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Goodbye.